Hey girl, welcome back to the show. I cannot believe this is episode 90. I'm totally squealing over here. We are so close to the triple digits. I'm super excited that I continue to be able to pour out into your heart. And today we're talking about intentional thinking. That's right, sis. I'm going to be sharing with you the one phrase to use to transform your thoughts so you can transform your life. Let's get it. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. Hey sis, how are you doing this week? How is your week starting? Hopefully you had a well-rested weekend. I am sending you all of the recovery hugs and vibes for your November. Sister, it is getting cold here, and I do not do well in the cold, but as I was able to reflect and sit in my cozy PJs and my cozy chair with my cozy blanket, I wanted to come to today's show just challenging your mind, challenging your thoughts. And I wanted to be able to share with you the power of positive momentum. And Kristen Cothrell, she actually wrote the book, The Snowball Effect. And she talks so much about how your thoughts have the power to lead you towards a path of success or a path of pure destruction. And I've talked about thoughts a lot on the show, because truly our eating disorder brain has a mind of its own, and it allows our mind to become consumed with these negative thoughts that literally leave us into negative momentum and a disaster zone. And so I wanted to share with you today all about intentional thinking and the number one phrase that I leverage with my current clients. And I use it in different ways. And yes, it is extremely, extremely helpful with eating disorder mantras and with recovery, but it's also extremely helpful in other avenues of your life. And so I'm going to share that with you in a moment. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what Kristen Cothrell says. She says that if we want to build positive momentum, we need to practice intentional thinking. And in order to do that, we have to be truly aware of what we're thinking and actually be willing to challenge our thinking. We need to be able to practice separating our thoughts from our emotions. And when we're feeling unworthy, we think we're unworthy, but really we should be challenging that. When we feel unworthy with intentional thinking, we know that that's just a feeling. And that feeling unworthy doesn't mean that we actually are unworthy. It's just simply a feeling. It's an emotion, and it's rooted in insecurity of another person that had absolutely nothing to do with us in the first place. But somewhere over time, we picked that up and put it on us. And we've been living under that filter for so very long. What is intentional thinking? So it seems simple enough to comprehend, right? But it's very hard to apply sometimes in our own life, because essentially we have to think about what it is we're thinking about, and we have to be intentional and help us to realize, yes, we can think certain things, but that doesn't mean that we're living in that place. Thinking what it is you're thinking can also be a full-time job, especially when you spend majority of your day thinking about what you're going to eat next, when you can eat next, how much you're going to eat of it, what you're going to restrict of it, what you can have later, what you're going to have to do to exercise it off. Like, all of those thoughts are exhausting in our mind. But sister, you have the power over what you allow your mind to think about. You can change your default. So if you've been wired to where you constantly go to these negative things in your mind, and that little voice is always there, and you notice that that negative voice, that critical voice is always there, you have the power to change it. Yes, you can challenge, you can pivot, And you can change the direction of your mind so that you can truly change the direction of your life. With intentional thinking, you actually change the narrative of what you're feeling because feeling isn't truth. Friend, I want you to say it with me right now. Feeling isn't truth. Positive momentum is going to create positive momentum. And it breaks that negative cycle, and it actually changes our dynamic with ourselves, with other people in our lives. Because when you're feeling worthy, you act like you are worthy, right? And the truth is, you already are worthy. If you've been sitting there wondering if you are, and you're just ruminating, you're sitting and marinating in those thoughts about how you feel so unworthy. Do you truly think that by thinking that, you're going to wake up one day changed, whole, and healed? Stop connecting your current circumstance to your old, dirty, stinky laundry sister. If you want a different life, you need to have a different mind. And so if you're aware of all those critical thoughts that you've had in your mind and you want to change it, but that inner critic, that eating disorder in your mind doesn't allow you to do so, it becomes simply too much to bear. I want you to know that today you have an inner intuitive nature of your being that lives inside you. Something that is so strong that even an eating disorder voice can't take over. This is your inner self, your true self, what I refer to as your best self. And you simply have to speak with that in mind. Today, I'm going to teach you the simple phrase that you can take with you from here on out as you navigate your week, your life, and your recovery journey, because it truly is a game changer. I want you, when you get a chance, either after today's show or right now, if you're not driving, whatever it is that you're doing, I want you to write down a list of things that you want. And especially when you're going down this negative tangent in your mind, I want to be able to restrict right now. I want to skip my meal. I want to ignore my hunger. I want to overexercise. I want to purge. I want to binge. I want to skip my snack. I want to avoid everyone around me and curl up in a ball and watch Netflix and starve myself. Whatever that is, whatever you're really feeling that it is that you want. Think about that. And then the next step is I wish I had. I wish I had what? What do you wish you had in this moment? I want to be able to restrict, but I wish I had freedom. Okay, so you're gonna think about everything that it is that you want when you're in that negative place in your mind. And then the next part of the phrase is I wish I had. And the final part of the phrase, the most freeing part of this one phrase is right now I need. So let me spell this out for you. I want to overexercise and I wish I had full recovery, but right now I need to rest my body. I want to purge and I wish I had a magic pill to stop these awful behaviors, but right now I need some accountability and support. What does it look like for you in your life? What does that phrase look like for you when you fill in those blanks? Because sister, your thoughts have power to completely transform the trajectory of your recovery and your life. And in order to become the best version of you, it's important to embrace this practice. This is intentional thinking. The truth is you are what you think you are. And in order to think intentionally, it doesn't just happen overnight. We have to practice this exercise by thinking on things that are purposeful. And in order to create that positive, purposeful momentum and true change, it is so important to be present in your current reality, your current truths, while you are taking one small step every day forward. Stop connecting your current circumstance to the old you. You're not there anymore, sister. You're not there. You can start showing up as who you want to be now. You can start challenging your thoughts now. I know this can sound easy when in fact it's not. I mean, thinking about what we're thinking about is hard work. But when's the last time you challenged what you're thinking about? When's the last time that you stood up for you as if you were standing up for one of your girlfriends or family member or somebody in your circle that you love? Instead of saying, I'm unworthy, I'm a loser, I'm not skinny enough. I'm fat. I'm never going to amount to anything. Instead of pouring out and being rooted in those insecurities, now is the time to change the game, to change the landscape. I may feel unworthy. I may feel fat. I may feel like I'm never going to get out of this mess. But my reality is this is not true. This is not true. Sister, right now, you have the ability to define what your truth is. But sitting in a lie and constantly feeding that negative lie, that negative narrative to yourself, it's reactive. It's not intentional. Today, I want you to practice some intentional thinking with this exercise so that you can be aware of what it is you're thinking about. If you want to restrict your dinner and you wish you had freedom, maybe right now you just need to go to the kitchen and pull some stuff out of the fridge to make a healthy meal for yourself and your family. Doing some intentional thinking, practicing intentional ways of life is taking a moment to have that positive intent before the action. It's sitting with yourself and going, if I want a different outcome, I've got to do it differently this time. Because the truth is, what you feed your mind is what will continue to grow inside your heart. Sister, you are so much more than a number. You're so much more than believing you're not good enough. You're so much more than not feeling worthy enough. You're so much more than feeling broken or feeling rejected or feeling like things never work out for you or feeling like a victim or feeling like you're never going to be small enough or feeling like you always mess things up, feeling like the cards just aren't in your favor. But sister, in order to challenge yourself, you have to challenge yourself. In order to create positive momentum, you have to do the opposite. So yes, you can feel unworthy, but why might that not be true? Yes, you can feel fat, but why isn't that true? Fat isn't a feeling. Worthiness isn't a feeling. We are all flawed, sis. And that's what makes us so very perfect. You're not a bad person. Get rid of that shame. I want you to break free from it. I want you to surrender it right now today. If you want to stop allowing these thoughts in your mind to control your life and your inner peace, now's the time to practice intentional thinking. Can you commit today to take one step forward in your journey? What are you going to do today to challenge your mind? How can you show up, sis, to show yourself compassion and to show your body some love? Come on over to our private Facebook community, Hope and Healing for Eating Disorder Recovery. Share what it is that you're going to do today to practice intentional thinking. You may feel unworthy, but knowing that you are worthy, it actually changes that feeling. Knowing that you are already on the recovery journey, even though it sucks and it's freaking hard, you already know the direction of your life. You already know the outcome, even in your mind when you might feel like the unknown is terrifying. Live into the place. Get intentional. And rest assured, sis, you can change your life by simply transforming your mind. I love you, friend. I'm so happy that you tuned into today's show. I would love to hear from you. Reach out to me, info@lindsaynickel.com. And did you know that I do one-on-one coaching? I'm starting to get a wait list, sister. So if you're interested in one-on-one with me, go out and fill out the client application. You can find it in the show notes below. And I can't wait to hear from you and to learn about you and your challenges and how I can help support you along the way. Go out today and completely change your thinking by doing something differently and changing the way you think. All right, sister. Talk to you soon, girl. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.